Alright guys, we are back. Locked, cocked, and ready to rock. I think Dogbird is also here. We have all 10 players in the server right now. We're going to be playing on Gold Mud Railway. And once again, Dogbird, how are you thinking Gold Mud Railway is going to be playing out? We are going to be watching Infused versus Dignitas. Let's see what the breakdown is. Go on.
Well, it's going to be a difficult one. I think Infused, just off the fact that, they play together as a five a lot more often than this hastily put together Dig squad. But Dig has some solid players, Frantic, Giggly, and Jerk. And obviously with MVC and Hanzilla, I think, they have a good mix here of well-rounded players. Obviously, mostly built around the veteran players in the the two 6-fin players from BF4 and Frantic, who's played Shoot Mania, Unreal Tournament, you name it, he's played it and probably played it for money. Good old-fashioned mercenary FPS players. There are many of us, and some of us are still playing, Frantic and MVC there. But I think they have a chance, but I think they have to do something really good out of the gates just to throw Infused on the back foot here, because, to be honest, these guys have not lost in the UK Cup at all, so they must be feeling pretty damn confident right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be having Infused on the Chinese side, which, would you say that this is the harder side? I would definitely say it's the harder side.
Yeah, but it all comes down to like the initial break. So I think Infused probably starting on the harder side here. They probably will not get B at the beginning. They'll get A easily, but sometimes you do see some big pushes heading out to that C flag, and man, it can catch some teams off guard. And there you go. There's going to be a restart anyway, so they're going to swip it back round, and it will be Dignitas playing on the harder side. On
well, we had one of the
server.
players two of the players switch teams. We had Bambi and Hans. For some reason ended up switching those sides, but yeah, I agree with you. I think the China side is definitely going to be the harder one. In terms of where these teams are going to be pushing, I would imagine that we're going to be seeing maybe a 3-2 split for Infused right now on the Russian side. One capping C, 2 going over into dorms, and then the other 2 going straight down onto that Bravo flag. And then over here for Dignitas, I would imagine that we're going to be seeing 2 go over into dorms and then 3 pushing down into A. Maybe one of them that instead of pushing down into A might go through mid on that street. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, you do have that kind of break a lot of the time. I said sometimes some teams just leave 1 going to A or 2 going A and then just flood that C flag as quick as possible.
Yeah. Well, they don't even have to leave anybody back there, because they did end up getting that spawn deal where you can move closer to the flags. It looks like Hadoken's going to be pushing really, really aggressive here, and we'll be able to find Jakili. Finishes off that kill, almost fails on it, but they're going to be very aggressive here, taking out that dorm spawn, and now Hadoken's going to be pushing down into Alpha. But look at this, Hanzilla going all the way around the backside, already getting a touch on Charlie.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want, but unfortunately they're going to lose control of the buildings out there, so Tom's going to be nearby. He's trying to keep it down over on the other flags, but you can see Hadoken's already onto that A flag here, so all that pressure on the C is pretty much for nothing unless Dignitas can clear up this house here. Bambi holding it down. You see UK Swag over at the B house as well. All key positions of these map are being held down right now by Infused.
Yeah, they are. Hanzilla going to try and take Bravo right now. Will not be able to do that, and we are going to be seeing a trip cap coming out in very, very early state, first minute actually of the game. So this is not looking good here for Dignitas. I did like that breakout though from Hans, jumping onto that flag very early on. He went the long way around basically, but unfortunately they just could not pick up their frags, as we're seeing just player after player after player for Dignitas going down to this Infused squad.
Yeah, and this is the worst place really to be caught up in, because they're just so far away from any of the good flags, and they don't really have anyone on those buildings, so right now, not looking good.
Oh my god! Tom right here was just going beast. He ended up getting a couple of kills with the nade and then going down, jumping, and taking one out as well. So that was some really good plays coming in here for Tom. Revo is going to be pushing back up onto that Bravo flag. Should be able to get that cap, no problem. We do have Hans, though, pushing up onto Gray House. Now, he's going to be able to control a lot of the, or at the very least, he can see a lot of the movement here from Infused and hopefully stop it. But those rockets going to be coming out for a few. Something that we talked about before we went to break are the rocket plays that are going to be coming into effect here, blowing down that cover in that gray house, in Alpha building, in dorms, especially onto that Charlie building as well.
Yeah, but if Dignitas can't get themselves out of C, and they're just going to keep coming up against this brick wall in these buildings, and right now Infused are just holding down the best positions on this map, and Dig is just kind of, look at that, a two-man push there from Jerk, and MVC just gets shut down, and Infused are just looking really, really strong right now. They're just holding really, really well.
I like that from Frantic. He says, "Sit down, broski. Welcome to Battlefield." As he ends up taking out a nice pick there, and he's going to be getting onto this A flag here in just a second. Though, if Inkle has anything to say about it, he will not be staying up alive. And we're seeing that ACR being used now here by Inkle. We saw Duke PT also using it on this same map. So I don't know if this is maybe like just the map for that particular gun or what. But Charlie flag going to be going into the favor of Infuse here in just a second. Frantic going to try and come up here and stop this burn. Should be able to get at least one pick. No. Hans, did he finish that off? Actually, nobody finishing that off. Bambi staying alive. How did he not get picked up? I do not know. But they will be able to secure that Charlie point. Jerk, the only one left back up over here onto Bravo. I think that... okay, why would you go for a push on the Charlie flag as opposed to pushing down into Alpha?
I think at this point, especially with Dig's point of view, they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, because Infuse keep hitting them from C all the time. And every time they push out, they're really just sandwiched, so they don't really get much chance to get out here. But it's the building control for Infused that's really causing the issue here. I mean, they're just harassing flags all the time, and Dignitas are constantly having to look over their shoulder when you would think they'd be safe. Look at that, they're going to lose that B flag here. C's under attack, and they've got 2 at A, but man, if they lose that C flag already and those reinforcements get back into B, they're back to square one, and those tickets right now are not looking very nice for them at all.
No, it is not. 182 to 121. Tom does end up going down, but he has backup there to help him out onto that Charlie flag. We do have Jerk pushing in onto that Bravo side of the map, and it looks like they will be able to take this A-B hold. Now, wouldn't you say, Dig, this is probably the strongest hold that they can get, and if they can lock this down, you want to talk about some really brutal spawn trapping going to be going on here, as, I mean, if you can, it's almost impossible to get out of it because you have to cross open ground. So much open ground right there, guys. If you're looking at the screen right now, there's just really nothing that you can do. Bambi, though, going to try and get a touch onto this Bravo flag. He knows that there's at least one, maybe two up into Gray House. He's going to have to be backing up a little bit himself, but it looks like they were able to get them out of position. I don't like where Frantic is here. I think Frantic, well, yes, that's a good spot if you have somebody in the Bravo house, but once he goes down, he should be pushing up. So I think that's a wasted player right there, as he's the last one up. You will be able to be a spawn point, so that's not too bad, but he is spotted out here.
Yeah, it's only a good position if everyone in the flag itself is actually okay, and that wasn't the case. So yeah, like you said, pretty much a wasted player out on the far side there. But really gives Dignitas a chance maybe to overwhelm that B flag. And Frantic there getting the kill on UK Swag, forcing the defenders of B to look back around instead of doing what they wanted to do, which is just to solidify that B hold. And you can see Frantic on the attack again. Eventually goes down to Enkel, but giving Dig a bit of time here. But man, look at it. Tom already offensive, getting the building overlooking C, and just keeping the rotations really crisp and smooth right now, and really keeping Dig constantly on the back foot.
Yes, they are, and it looks like Tom going to be able to cause a lot of damage to both of those players, pushing them back, getting the assist on one. 169 to 87. This is looking firmly in their grasp right now. Although, like we said, if Dig can get this BA hold and hold it down long enough, I have seen comebacks of 70 to 80 plus tickets go back into their favor. So it can happen, but we are going to be seeing some rocket play coming out. Hadokens is going to be back up over here onto Bravo flag. He spots out two, trying to go over there towards Meadow. Will he be able to take them down? I don't know, because this is going to be a tight position. He's kind of not in the best of areas, but it's going to be okay because UK Swag back there going to be backing him up. And there goes some more rocket play. Did he trade out right there? Oh, that would have been beautiful if he did. Not going to be getting the kill there. Hadokens looks like he's going to be just fine. Jakili, though, asking to shift back over to make sure there's not going to be any kind of a back rage coming in on their backside. Jerk, though, is going to be back up, and he is not going to be surviving here.
Yeah, and Dig really just locked into one flag the whole time, and you can just see Infused the whole time. It's just able to get a 2-flag cap, and whenever Dig push out to capture something, they're already harassing and capturing a new flag. So keeping that bleed firmly in Infused's control here, and Dig are really just struggling to get much of a control over the entire map. I mean, Infused seem to be just taking flags at will right now.
Yes, they do. And we are going to be seeing more destruction coming in as another building just fell. Hadokens, though, coming back out, able to take out Just NV. Will not be able to get the second kill as he was rezzed. So that's going to leave him back up. Tom, though, is going to be over here to fill out his position to stop any kind of push onto Bravo flag. It is going to be a 2-cap bleed still, once again, in their favor, 159-52. Looking pretty good here, as we do have Dignitas just falling all over the map. Hans is going to be pushing up onto that Charlie side of the map as they ended up getting out one pick, but it's just not going to be enough. Look at that, just swarming it. They're just swarming it right now because they can. I would say that they have, as you mentioned, they have them on the back foot here. They're reacting. Dignitas is not able really to dictate the pace of the game, as Infused is just everywhere they want to be at once.
Yeah, this is just a really difficult map, especially with new players. The communication, it's just a difficult one to deal with, and I think that is key here. And I think Infused are just transitioning between flags so much better than Dignitas. But here you go. Here's Dig's chance to level this game up. They've got the A, they've got the B. They know that Infused are pretty much spawning out near on the C flag. So if there's a chance for Dig to come back here, it's going to be right now. This is their last chance, really, on this round, and probably on the map, because 143 tickets is a substantial lead right now. And you can see Infused know that they're probably up against it, so they're switching it to push that A flag as much as possible. But, man, just one good set of kills in the middle, and they'll break through.
And I think we just saw that. Justin V gets taken down. It's just going to allow Bambi to push back up. We also saw Frantic getting taken out, and I think that's going to be it right here. B flag going to be going into their possession. We're not seeing any kind of rotation here from Jakili or over here from the second player from Dignitas. I can't really click on him right now, but that's Justin V. They're not able to get onto this B flag fast enough, and I think this is wasted time right now for them. I know they waited for those spawns, but I don't think that they should have, as still going down, and they still got to get this cap on Bravo. Revo should be able to come in here and stop any kind of a push coming in to finish that cap, actually, and there you go. He's going to be able to take out Frantic. He spots out another one over here onto that Bravo building, and should be able to at least push him back quite a bit. Now, B is going to be getting grayed out, but 32 seconds left to go. At this point in time, you got to give up on winning the match, and you just got to try and get that flag burn in your favor to bleed down those tickets, at least sub 100.
Yeah, but I mean, eventually they managed to kill Tomba, who was pushing the A flag solely. But if they can't get control of B, then it's all for nothing, really. And look at him, man. It's 2-flag bleed right now, and it's just not looking good for Dig. They will get this C flag. Well, hopefully they will. Yeah, they are. They're going to get it. But, man, look, A's already under attack, and B is firmly defended with 3 guys in that B house. 2 guys, sorry, in that B house. 1 guy in the container in the middle of the road. Very solid position for Infused, and I feel that they're probably going to close out this game right now, because Dignitas are just nowhere in a position to threaten them.
No, they are not, and this is looking really good here for Infused. They've got a smile from ear to ear right now, because they definitely played this map well. I mean, I gotta say, they got their frags. They played it very well. They were positioning, as you say, they played it perfect Battlefield. They just had the better positioning. And look at that, Tom, 23 and 8. Dropping that 20 bomb. Gotta be loving that. And we do have UK Swag or Inkle dropping that 18 and 7. So nice job there, as Infused really getting the frags in their favor. And C flag will be going back into the favor of Dignitas here in just a second. They can't really spawn in anymore. This is all but lost. B flag going to be going back into their favor as Frantic also goes down. And actually, we're going to be seeing a trip cap here in just a second.
Yeah, pretty much decisive victory here for Infused. Not particularly surprised, especially on a map like this. It definitely lives off communication more than anything. 122 tickets, and yeah, decisively shut that one out there. And Infused just looking really strong right now.
Yes, very strong. Good games there, as I really don't see Dignitas coming back. I mean, is there something... Obviously, they're going to be having the easier side, I would say, coming out of the gate, which is going to give them a 2-cap bleed right from the get-go. Now, if I was in their position, and granted, I'm no pro player, but I've seen quite a few of these matches. If I was in their position, I would try and just go for that AB setup right away. I would put the majority, I would screw trying to get into dorms. You know, we don't need to get in the dorms. Cap C, put 4 guys over onto Bravo, push A hard, and try and get that AB setup, turn around, and just hold it for as long as you possibly can.
That's basically it. That is the only way they're going to get out of this one. They need to just go ultra aggressive and hope that Infused fall apart. But from Infused's point of view, they know exactly what they got to do here, and they just got to bring it down between 122, and that is not too difficult for a team that is going to be, I would say, pretty full of confidence after that last round. I mean, they pretty much just beast moded that one, so Dig are up against it completely.
Yeah, you got to be feeling good after that match, and we are going to be seeing a 2-2 split as 2 of them going over into dorms. Getting shot right from the break. That's not a good one. Revo first blood there as B flag will be going into the favor of Dignitas, but losing those players right out. And actually, they're going to make their way over here onto Alpha flag. Look at this. Hanzilla somehow squeezing his way over here towards A. And if they can get this early trip cap, this is going to be impressive here, dog.
Yeah, maybe, but they are losing out at C. Giggly against a 3-man push from Infused, so they really need to close out that A flag. They're going to do it, but look, B's wide open right now, so that rotation coming in from C is pretty much going to come in completely uncontested, and maybe it looked good, but really they're still in a worse position now as that C and B going up to Infused early on.
Yes, it is. I got to say that it was looking good there for a moment, but the rotations were bad. They overcommitted there to Alpha. We saw 4 players, 3 of them which spawned in onto A, which I think is just way too much overcommitment. I would have rather gone for a random spawn as opposed to spawning in on my teammate there. And look at that. RPG going to be coming in from Inkle. Takes out 2 players. That is insult to injury, as now we're going to be seeing a trip cap going in favor of Infused.
Yeah, it's looking good right now. I think Dig are in dire straits on. They need to do something crazy. They got 2 guys up near C, but that crossfire is coming in, and the sole remaining guy's just totally pinned down. I don't see how he's going to get. It's Hanzilla here, and I honestly kind of feel that might be it, and Dignitas going to go down in the loser bracket. We have a lot more tickets going on, but a full cap this early on and building control completely over to Infused. I mean, that's pretty much everything you need, really, in a competitive game of BF.
Yeah, well, especially on this map. I mean, this map is heavily dependent on the fact of where you're sitting at, and they are definitely sitting in all the right places. Really, Jakili, the only one that's going to be trying to pressure in onto a flag. He ends up getting the burn, but I mean, is it even worth it right now? 154 to 188. They got to win by 123 tickets in order to take this match, and they're on the bad side of the map. They have the worst positioning that you could think of right now. Bambi is going to be sitting over here onto Alpha. He knows, hey, there's somebody below me right now, and will not be able to win on a gunfight. Hans ends up taking him out. Jagili, though, pushing back up on the B. He will be able to take out Inkle. So we are going to be seeing a little bit of life coming in here for Dignitas, but it's just too little too late, I'm afraid.
Yeah, definitely. Infused just looking a lot stronger right now. What else can you say, really? I mean, pardon me. The UK powerhouse in Infused are just unstoppable right now. And what are you going to say? UK Strike, 7 for 2. Tom obviously did so well in that last round. And Dig are really just clutching at straws to try and do something. They finally got the B and the A flag and the building control as well. But how much time have they got here? They would need to pretty much play a perfect game from now on out.
Yes, they would. Now they do have the 2-cap lead in their favor, but a 3-man push coming in onto Grey House, onto that Bravo flag. Revo coming in from behind. This is not looking good for them. They do end up trading out there. The random spawn is going to be coming in onto that Charlie side of the map. Tom's going to be coming around the corner. He ends up getting taken down as well. Bambi going to be finishing that up though, and B will be returning back into the possession of Infused here, while Dignitas is going to be trading it for basically Charlie. 139, 161. And I think we have our team that's going to be moving on into the grand finals here, which will be Infused.
Yeah, and it's not surprising at all. I mean, especially on a night like this. But saying that, it's not completely over yet, but it's only about 10 tickets in it. But yeah, Infused rotations have just been much better in it. I think it really caught them off guard very much in the first round. And I think from then on out, it doesn't matter how close this one is, it's always the first round that they're fighting against. And man, did Infused do well then.
Well, I mean, there's always something to say for the shock of that first round. You know, when you come out swinging, and I think they got trip capped in the first round as well, didn't they? Or at least it was very close to a trip cap. And when that happens, that shakes you up a little bit. I don't care who you are, especially when you have two randoms that you're not used to playing with on your team. It shakes things up. You're just not used to it. And we definitely saw that from them today. Infused playing very well. Like you said, just because they have the chemistry with each other. It's the main Infused team. The only change is, like you said, Inkle, but he has played with them quite a bit so far, so he of course fits in quite nicely there. And I would say the only other person that we're not used to seeing would be Pesty, as Pesty is usually playing.
Yeah, well, I mean, even though I'm bringing up the fact that like the Dig guys have not worked together quite as well, the Infused team in general is really, really good right now, and these guys, like I was saying, I would not be surprised to see them at the EMS final at all. And I think if they play Dignitas with their standard lineup, they'd still give them a good game. So I'm not saying Dig are losing simply because of that. I think Infused are a really, really top team right now. And they're going to upset a lot of teams in the near future. I think the last time I seen Dignitas and Infused play were actually the group stages leading up to EMS final. And I think that was pretty one-sided. So yeah, I think a bit of revenge here for them, especially fighting on home turf.
I would say that Infused has definitely grown as a team here in the last couple of months or so, especially since the EMS group stages or the qualifiers. I think that they have definitely grown as a team. They've gotten a lot better. They've changed the way they've played, and then they've had a couple of additions. I think that Inkle was a really good addition there. And while he may not be playing, it does give you a boost when you start winning other events. I know you would probably agree with this from being a competitive player from the past. You know, if you win, even if it's smaller cups, when you get those wins underneath your belts, I mean that feels good. You feel good, and then when you go into a bigger cup, you do a lot better.
Oh yeah, definitely. A bit momentum and morale always helps, and but it must be a weird thing. You get it and then it goes. You get it, it goes. You get it, it goes. And some teams just kind of stick with it and some don't. But I don't know. I think Infused will take it. And like I'm saying, they're just waiting for a big result in the European Go4s and the MSs. And I think from then on out, they'll shock a lot more team on a more regular basis. But yet they will be going into the final here, and Dignitas going to go down into loser bracket. And I believe, well, we'll see who they'll be playing. But I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing a rematch of them against Too Fast for Jesus, as they have already gone through against Team Rez. So I think they'll be playing against either Team Bobs or Geek BF4.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be an interesting one. Now, I imagine that we're going to try and cast a couple of loser bracket matches, as we're going to have quite a bit of a break between the grand finals and the losers. So I imagine our next match is going to be Too Fast for Jesus and the winner of Bobs and Geek.
That is correct. It will be one of those teams. I think we're just going to be waiting for Bobs and Geek to finish off, and then we'll be casting them. But yeah, Infused just looking really strong right now. But I've come to expect that whenever I watch them in the UK scene, they really are just going to be feeling quite home here. And that's what you expect from the best UK team at the moment.
Yeah. So right now, who is your pick in the losers bracket to make their reappearance here for the grand finals?
I think Dignitas, if they keep playing, will probably be there. But Fast for Jesus, otherwise, would maybe be the dark horse. But yeah, I would expect to see Dignitas in the final.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. Predictions there from Dogbert. I think they're very sound predictions. I agree with him there. So our winner is going to be going in, continuing within the grand finals will be Infused. Dignitas will drop down. They will be playing against the winner of Too Fast for Jesus, and then Bob/Toggy, whoever wins that match. So we will be back here in just a few minutes. We're going to cut to some music. We'll see you guys here in a sec.